and let sounds contribute toward me. I hear the reverence of birds, the bustle of growing wheat, gossip of flames, clack of sticks cooking my meals. I hear the sound of the human voice, a sound I love. I hear all sounds as they are tuned to their uses, sounds of the city and sounds out of the city, sounds of the day and night. Talkative young ones to those that like them. The representative of fish peddlers and fruit peddlers, the laugh of work people at their meals, the angry pace of disjointed friendship, the faint tones of the sick, the judge with hands tied to the desk, his shaky lips pronouncing a death sentence, the heavy yell of stevedores and laney ships by the wharves, the refrain of the anchor lifters, the ring of alarm bells, the cry of fire, the whir of swift streaking engines and hose carts with premonitory tinkles and colored lights, the steam whistle, the solid roll of the train of approaching cars, the slow march played at night at the head of this isolation. They go to guard some corpse. The flat tops are dropped with black muslin. I hear the violoncello or mansard complaint, and hear the kid cornet else the echo of sunset. I hear the chorus. It is a grand opera. This indeed is music. A tenor large on the fridge, as the creation fills me. The orbic flex of this mouth is purring and filling me full. I hear the trained soprano. She convulses me like the climax of my love grape. The orchestra whirls me wider than Uranus flies. It wrenches unamable ardors from my breast. It throws me to gulps of the farthest down horror. It sails me. I tap with bare feet. They are licked by the indolent waves. I am exposed, cut by bitter and poisoned hail, steeped amid honey-eyed morphine, my one pipe squeezed in the face of death. Let us begin to feel the puzzle of puzzles, and that we call being. To be in any form, what is what? If nothing, they more develop. The wow and its cut-out shell were not. Mine is no gallows shell. I have instant conductors all over me, whether I pass or stop. They seize every object and lead it harmlessly throughout me. I merely steer, press, feel with my fingers, and am happy. Touch my person to someone else is about as much as I can stand. Is this then a touch? Quivering me to a new identity. Flames and ether making a rush for my veins. Treacherous deep of me reaching and crowding to help them. My flesh and blood playing out lightning to strike what is hardly different from myself. On all sides, brilliant provokers, stiffening my legs, straining the other of my heart for its sinews toward me, taking no denial, depriving me of my best as for a purpose, unbuttoning my clothes and holding me by the bare waist, delighting my confusion with the calm of the sunlight and pasture fields, immodestly sliding the fellow senses away. They bribe to swap off with touch and go and graze at the edges of me, no consideration, no regard for my training strength or my anger, fledging the rest of the herd around to enjoy them a while, then all uniting to stand on a headland and worry me. The sentries desert every other part of me. They have led my helpless to a red marauder. They all come to the headland to witness and assist against me. I am giving up my traitors. I talk widely. I have lost my wits, and I'm nobody else. I'm the greatest traitor. I wed myself first to the headland, my own hands carried me there. You, brilliant touch, what are you doing? My breath is tied in its throat. Unclench your floodgates. You are too much for me. Blind loving wrestling touch, sweated, hooded, sharp-prodded touch. Did it make you ache? Did it make you ache? So leaving me, paddling tractor by arriving, perpetual payment of the perpetual loan. I believe a leaf of grass is no less than the journey work of the stars, and the pismire is equally perfect, and a grain of sand, and the egg of the wren, and the tree toad is a chef d'oeuvre for the highest, and the running blackberry will adorn the parlors of heaven, and the narrowest vein in my hand puts to scorn all machinery, and the cow grunting with depressed head surpasses any statue, and a mouse is miracle enough to stagger 6 stillions of infidels. And I could come every afternoon of my life to look at the farmer's girl boiling her iron tea kettle and baking shortcake. I find incorporate guineas and gold and long-threaded moss and fruits and grains and succulent roots, and I'm stuccoed with quadrupeds and birds all over, and have distanced what is behind me for good reasons, and call anything close again when I desire it. In vain the speeding of shyness, in vain the plutonic rocks send their old heat against my approach, in vain the mastodon retreats beneath its own powder bones, in vain objects stand leagues off and assume manifold shapes. In vain the ocean settling in hollows and the great monsters lying low. In vain the buzzard houses herself with the sky. In vain the snake slides through the creepers and logs. In vain the elk takes to the inner passes of the woods. In vain the rustle-piled oak sails far north to Labrador. I follow quickly. I ascend to the nest in the fissure of the cliff. I think I could turn and live a while with the animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at days how they lay long. They do not sweeten wine about their conviction. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. No one is dissatisfied. Not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Not one kneels to another nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or industrious over the whole earth. So they show their relations to me, and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them plainly in their possession. I do not know where they got those tokens. I must have passed that way untold times ago, and immediately gently dropped them. My dice and palette leave me. I travel. I sail. My bows pressed in the sea gasps. I skirt the Sierras. My palms cover continents. I am afoot with my vision. By the city's quadrangular houses, in long hats or camping with lumbermen, along the ruts of the turnpike, along the dry gulch and rivulet bed, hoeing my onion patch and rows of carrots and parsnips nips, crossing savannas, trailing in forests, prospecting, gold digging, girdling the trees of a new purchase, scorched ankle-deep by the hot sand, hauling my boat down the shallow river, where the panther walks to and fro on a limb overhead, where the buck turns furiously at the hunter, where the rattlesnake suns his flabby length on a rock, where the otter is feeding on fish, where the alligator on his top pimples sleeps by the bayou, where the black bear is searching for roots or honey, where the beaver pats the mud with his paddle tail, over the rowing sugar, over the cotton plant, over the rice in its low moist field, over the sharp-peaked farmhouse with its scalloped scum and slender shoots from the gutters, over the western persimmon, over the long-leaved corn and the dedicated blue-flowered flax, over the white and brown buckwheat, a hammer and a buzzer, there with the rest, over the dusky green on the rye, as it ripples and shades in the breeze, scaling mountains, pulling myself continuously up, holding on by lowest